Fox News alert, the biggest health insurance company in the country, its CEO, just got assassinated in Midtown Manhattan, right as he was walking into a hotel. New surveillance video shows the shooter firing the kill shot at around 6:45 in the morning in front of the Hilton, right up the street. He used a silencer, looked like a professional hit.
I hear the 3 shots. I was parking down there in the car. I hear 3 shots. Yeah, and then when I looked, there's a man down. Then the guy crossed and then he ran. He's a white male, all in black, with a backpack. The guy, he was here in this corner the whole night.
The cops confirmed the assassin waited outside in the freezing cold for Brian Thompson, CEO of United Healthcare, till he came out. Police also recovered 3 live rounds and 3 bullet casings at the scene and a cell phone nearby. And we have brand new footage obtained by the Times of the killer around 10 minutes before he murdered the powerful health insurance executive. And here he is on his cell phone, less than 200 feet from what would have been the crime scene. Who's he talking to? Looks like he had a busy morning. New pictures show the shooter went to Starbucks before the murder. After firing multiple rounds at very close range at Thompson, he runs up 6th Avenue and into an alleyway before hopping on a getaway e-bike, which he dumped in Central Park. That's the last place he was seen. He had a getaway plan. Police are putting up wanted signs all over the city, begging for tips. All the cops know is that the gunman had it out for Thompson. They say the shooter was lone target and that he's not believed to be a threat to anybody else at the time. We're also learning more about the victim. Brian Thompson was a very well-known businessman who'd been running United Healthcare since 2021, and quite successfully. The company raked in $8.5 billion last quarter, just in one quarter. Thompson was a Minnesota native. He was even photographed with Tim Waltz at a charity event just a few years back. Thompson was in town for a United Healthcare Investors Conference. That's where he was headed. Conference started at 8 o'clock in the morning, but Thompson got there a little early to prep. His killer was waiting for him. How did he know where Thompson was going to be? And what is the motive? A lot of speculation about why. And the cops are already poring over his personal and professional life. United Healthcare was going through some pretty sizable legal issues. It's being sued by the Justice Department for violating federal antitrust laws. And according to a report from Cranes from back in April, the DOJ was looking at company executives, including Thompson, for insider trading. United Health didn't tell its shareholders about the federal probe. Senior executives, including Thompson, reportedly sold millions of their own shares before the story hit newsstands. Thompson was never charged. Others speculate it could have had something to do with United denying claims at a very high rate. Thompson's wife says he's been threatened over that before. Quote, there have been some threats. Basically, I don't know, a lack of coverage. I don't know details. I just know that he had said there were some people that had been threatening him. John Walsh, former host of America's Most Wanted, joins me now. All right, John, just tell us what you get from the surveillance footage, the way the gunman holds the firearm and then the escape plan.
Jesse, before we dig into this for 1 second, I just want to talk to you about Daniel Penny trial. It's the biggest travesty in the history of this country. That guy's a hero. And there were 8 murders on the subway this year. It's up 60%. And here we've got a Marine risking his life to jump on a guy. And the victim, Jordan Neely, he's a mentally ill guy, been arrested 27 times. The whole society let him down. We're the richest, most powerful country on the planet. We couldn't get this guy help. And then they try to turn it into a race thing. You know, when that Marine got up to save that woman's life, he had said to her, the bad guy, he said, I'm going to kill you and your baby, and this Marine should get a hero. I mean, he should get a hero's award. The whole city should, because nobody's going to run that subway. I have a son who lives in Brooklyn. He says, Dad, those of us that can afford Uber, do it, but the people on the subway are people who can't, the dishwashers and the people coming into the city. It's a horrible thing that the city of New York is doing to this guy. The DA's office really need to be held accountable.
Yeah, I think we may have a verdict tomorrow, which we're going to cover heavily on the 5.
I do, too.
You know, the city, you're right, is out of control, and now you have this look like a targeted assassination attempt by a pro. Is that what you're picking up?
I don't think it's a pro. I've been doing this for years, and I've never really done a case, 30 years on him, and I'm still America's Most Wanted. Will start up again in March. So I've never came across a really good pro, because if they're really good, you don't know they're a pro. This guy made a lot of mistakes. I made some notes here for myself. You know, he was wearing sunglasses. A real pro wouldn't have had, I mean, he wasn't wearing sunglasses. A real pro would have been wearing sunglasses so that they couldn't get him with facial recognition. He had a half-ass gun. He probably learned how to build it on, you know, on YouTube or something like that. I think he was smart. I think somebody, I heard you say earlier today you thought someone may have paid him. But I think about the stock deal, and I think the trouble that the company got into, you never know when people are hurt. And this company hurt a lot of doctors, couldn't get their money. There are a lot of patients that had to wait a long, long time to get their bills paid. So it may be somebody out of control whose grandmother died because they couldn't get the right doctor, they couldn't get the right help. But the guy's not, the guy, I don't think he's a pro. Yeah, I mean, I know you do, but...
No, I mean, I don't know any more than anybody on the street knows, but you know more than most people, and you're probably right. The more that I think about it, I think you're onto something with the motive. All right, John, we got to run. We got to pay some bills, but it's good talking to you. Thank you so much. And again, we'll have the Penny verdict, I think, tomorrow.